Hi folks, broker Nicholas Iannitti, San Diego Real Estate and Investments. I always like to hop on Facebook here whenever I usually get off the phone with someone who's got a particular problem, and I want to kind of maybe bring some solutions for you guys. So problem of today, just got off the phone with someone, I hear it all the time. They really need to sell their home. They're kind of bursting at the seams. They need something a little bit bigger. However, they're super terrified because they have nowhere to move to. Right? They haven't seen anything, inventory is very low, and they're very worried about it, right? So they want to wait to sell their home until they find that perfect home, right? So, which seems like a reasonable thing to do, but let me tell you a little bit of a story here because I've seen it over and over and over again, right? Usually most people in this particular situation, most of them, usually want to sell their home for the largest amount of money, right, their current home, and then buy their next home for the least amount of money, right, usually kind of common sense. I understand there's some sellers out there that don't care about maximizing, the sale if they need to sell quickly or whatever else is going on. I understand there's other circumstances, but usually for the most part, 90% of people out there really want to try and sell their current home for the most and buy the next home for the less, right? But what happens is when you start to think about waiting for that next potential home, right, and then basically going into our difficult market right now with basically a contingent offer, meaning that your offer to purchase someone else's home is contingent on you selling your home. That's kind of a weak offer, right? There's lots of other bidders out there, and the seller knows that, if you don't sell your home, there could be an issue with their sale going through, so they're a little less leery to deal with contingent offers right now, which means that as a buyer with a contingent offer, you may have to compensate for that, right? It's a riskier offer for the seller, so you may have to compensate and strengthen your offer by increasing the price, right? Which is ultimately what you didn't want to do. Let's say you do get the house, though. Now you are in escrow, and basically you need to get this other house sold that you have because you don't want to pay 2 mortgages. And typically what happens is you may wind up accepting a little bit less for the home just to kind of grease the wheels and make the whole thing go through, right? So ultimately what happens is you wind up paying more for the next home and selling your house for less, right? Which is usually the exact opposite of what most people want to try and accomplish, okay? So it's always a better plan to go and list your home first, okay? Puts you kind of in the driver's seat. Realize you don't have to sell your home to anyone you don't want, but at least by listing on the market, you can see what the buyer feedback is of the home. And then there's a couple of tools that we can actually utilize to protect you, right? The first one is a seller contingency of property. Basically means that, you're going to accept their offer, but it's contingent on you finding the next place to live, okay? So you're not pigeonholed. If you can't find that place in X number of days or whatever else is going on, then you're not going to have a deal. You're not going to be forced to sell your home, okay? The other thing is we can utilize some form of a seller leaseback. This happens all the time, right? You basically sell your home. You're going to go through with your escrow period. However, after that, you're going to ask whoever buys your home that you're going to actually rent the home back from them for a period of time, whether it's 30, 60, 90 days, whatever it is, to help you either find that next home or at least close your escrow and wrap up what's going on with the other home that you're purchasing, okay? Another strategy or solution for you could just be some off-market houses, right? If you're not seeing enough of what's coming on the market and you understand where you want to live, you have a particular place you want to be or a type of home you want, whether it's single level, dual level, whatever it is, we can actually aggressively market to the owners of those homes in the place where you want to live and try and actually unearth a transaction where there isn't one. Okay, so not necessarily waiting for the inventory to come to you. So there are absolutely solutions to help you kind of with this problem, and realize too that everybody who's thinking about selling right now is kind of in the same predicament, right? They really want some help with trying to find where the next property is going to be, and we can absolutely help you with that. So if you have questions about this, want to delve into it more, that's fine. If you have other kind of comments down below, put those down below. But if you have questions that you'd like to see answered, if you're wondering how something works or how you have a problem and you wonder what are the solutions for your particular problem, I would love to answer that in this video. So go ahead and put that stuff down below. Would really appreciate it. And of course, if you have any other questions about your home value, what's going on in the market, anything like that, I'm more than happy to always have that conversation with you. Okay, thanks again for tuning in, and remember, who you choose to negotiate for you absolutely matters.